Hey everyone, welcome to the Geek Access Podcast, Episode 2. I am joined tonight, as always, by Corey and Brandon.
Hey.
And we're here for week 2, guys. The internet didn't kick us off. Pretty happy about that. We were allowed to come back for week 2.
For now.
So we're here with you guys this week. You know, we're back again. This week we're going to be talking a lot about E3. We're also going to be talking about a new album that has really caught my ear. Corey's got a couple games he's been playing. Brandon has an indie title that he's been having a lot of fun with. And we're going to go from there. So Corey, why don't you let everyone in on what you've been doing this week?
Been playing a lot of Trials. I mean, that game has just been so much fun ever since the first one. You can't not have a good time with Trials. Just messing around on a dirt bike. And then they even have a little dirt bike that has, instead of a motor, it's a bicycle. So it's just hilarious. And then the Battlefield Hardline beta that just came out during E3 is when they started that thing, and it is pretty interesting. It's not the same as Battlefield, that's for sure.
In what way?
There's a lot of weird tweaks. I mean, the game modes are weird. It involves in both teams having to go get money, even though one team is a cop. Well, I don't know why they would need to go get the money. But
like Payday meets Battlefield.
That's what they're getting at. They're trying to do. It's Battlefield mixed with Payday, just with no masks.
And I guess because it's multiplayer and Payday single player against AI, so
yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah, that was one thing that always got me about Payday was you can do 4-player co-op, but the AI is the cops are always AI.
Yeah, it's all like co-op. It's a lot of fun though. I like Payday a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I hadn't gotten around to yet. Although I have a couple of friends that swear by it. Actually, somebody who listens to the show who's a friend of mine swears by it. I've been peer pressured from left to right, but there's always something else for me to buy. But that's cool.
That's how it is.
So, Trials. As you know, I picked that up and had some fun with that. I think you've probably beaten all my high scores by now.
I doubt it.
Still waiting for the multiplayer though. The live multiplayer.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
That's in like a month, right?
They said sometime after release, and it's been out for almost 2 months now. So I would assume for release. See how it.
All right.
So Brandon, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, I've been playing this game called Lifeless Planet. It's the indie game. Like it was a one-guy thing, and he got it kickstarted. You're basically this astronaut who goes on this one-way trip to a planet that's supposed to be like the new like colony, and so he goes on this one-way trip, and what you find is actually just this like completely lifeless planet, hence the name. And then you discover the Soviets were already there, and then so it's basically just a little third-person adventure puzzler where you're exploring this planet and finding out the story of what happened with the Soviets. And then you find this woman who saves you from this strange phenomenon, like this like biological thing on the planet. And then so it basically plays out you exploring the planet and then figuring out what she's there for and then what happened with the Soviets. And it was pretty good. I mean, for $20, it gave me like 4.5 hours of gameplay, but it was nice atmosphere, pretty relaxing, fun little puzzler for $20. I'd definitely check it out. I liked it a lot. It's been fun.
Very cool. Now, is this like is there combat, or is this more like an adventure time game where it's more exploring?
No, it's definitely just atmosphere and exploring.
Cool. Have you beaten it yet? Do you have a length on it?
Yeah, I finished it today. It lasted me close to 5 hours, so it wasn't very long. But
right.
for $20, I enjoyed the design and the atmosphere enough to where it's definitely worth it, and I liked it a lot.
Cool.
Sweet.
Any type of replay value or anything?
Probably not. Maybe a few months down the road, I'll want to play it again. But I mean, maybe just to see the planet again, because it is really well like designed. Like the atmosphere, you feel like it's an actual like abandoned planet, and some of the Soviet like remains, and then you can get told the story through these little like document thingies that you find. And some of them are actually like translated into actual Russian. When I was reading the credits earlier, he actually got like a Russian guy to do the voiceover. And so that's pretty cool to go back and see and hear, and just the story behind what happened with the Soviets already being there and all their experiments going wrong and all that stuff. So it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was a fun game.
Sounds good.
Nice. Very cool.
Well,
I would check it out. It is on Steam.
very good. I'll make sure I put a link to that in the show notes so people can find it.
Yeah, I'll fix when I get it uploaded to my Twitch. Almost basically the start to finish of it was broadcast, and I just need to get the recordings put up on Twitch.
All right.
Cool.
Very good. Very good. Well, to kind of clue you guys in what I've been doing, I ended up picking up WildStar, another MMO.
Yeah, which I hated to disappoint on that, but I couldn't justify the investment, so I went
quite
Lifeless
all right.
Planet.
I mean, we've still got what? I mean, at most, I guess 6 months until Warlords, so I need something to fill that MMO addiction. So, WildStar didn't make the same mistakes that ESO did, in my opinion, in the sense that it plays like a traditional MMO. The second you boot it up, as you know, you played it. Corey, I think, is still waiting to install the guest key I gave him.
Yep.
But you sit down and it's very familiar, which I think was ESO's biggest mistake. Was you sat down and you're like, what the hell do I do?
Well, it was familiar, but it was just Skyrim.
See, I was never a big Skyrim player, or an ESO or an Elder Scrolls player at all. For me, if I'm going to invest that much time into a vast world, I want it to be a never-ending one, which is why I prefer the MMO set. You know, because I've got characters that I've been building for a decade on Warcraft.
Yeah,
right.
And I like that this isn't all going to go to waste in a year. Feeling. But I enjoy it. The artwork is interesting. It's very. When I first looked at it, I thought it felt very Team Fortress.
No, it's more Jack and Daxter.
That's what I was picking up on. Yeah, Jack and Dexter it definitely had that blocky but not overly blocky kind of fun cartoony feel to it. I like the comic relief that exists in the game. It definitely is
it's
aware
like
of
you
itself.
level up and it's like badass.
Yeah, it's aware of itself and it doesn't take itself seriously, which I think is one of its best aspects.
Yeah. But it also had a lot of depth.
As far as
It seemed like it had a lot of talent tree building and like class direction. Like there was a wide variety of builds you can take with the class.
yeah, actually, I was explaining that to Corey.
A lot of different options.
Right. Yeah, you can build it up however you want. I like it because it's very vanilla WoW in the sense that you have to buy your abilities. You have to pay to upgrade your abilities. I do like that you are. The one thing I liked about it that ESO did something similar was that it keeps you to one strict amount of ability. You end up unlocking all your action bars kind of like you do with Diablo 3. But so far, at least from what I've noticed, you can't have like 30 action bars like you can in WoW.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's very Guild Warsy.
Yeah. So, but I've been enjoying it. I'm level 10, so I just unlocked crafting. I haven't quite gotten to that yet. I really enjoy trade skills in MMO, so I'll be pretty excited to get to that point. And I got the collector's edition, so I got the hoverboard. So I'm excited to ride that.
Yeah, ride your little hoverboard.
Oh yeah. Hey, it'll keep me busy hopefully until December or sooner. We'll see when WAD ends.
There's a lot in between there that you could be doing.
For MMOs,
I'm just saying.
For MMOs, not really. And there's always that I've got a few hours to kill. Let me go grind some mobs. But aside from WildStar, I'm still enjoying Watch Dogs. I'm about 50% through the story. It's really unraveling.
I haven't even played that the past week. Jesus.
I'm really enjoying it. It's especially now that GTA 5 has been announced for next gen. So I'll have that open world. I'm excited to kind of have the taste of that with Watch Dogs. I'm starting to really get the hang of driving the cars. So when I e-brake a turn, I don't run over 3 civilians and go into a wall. But
right.
I'm trying to build my guy's reputation up, and it seems like every high-speed chase, it goes right back down to 0. Because you can't kill cops or you lose reputation because you're supposed to be a good. But I am enjoying it. It's definitely worth the investment. Unlike other games, it's just where they're blown up so big. I don't think it reached that height that it was projected for, but it was still definitely enjoyable. So
still haven't played it.
Yeah, you need to. You need to, my friend.
We'll see.
Well, maybe when I beat it and I'm done with it, I'll mail it out.
That could be.
That would work.
That would work.
Yeah, because there's no online play, so I don't know, but we'll see. Because I have the season pass, so I want to wait and see what else they add to it.
They might have some cool stuff.
Right.
Like free roam. God. With like multiple people. Why don't they have that? I feel like that's something that should come with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they seem to lock it. It's definitely there are big shoes to fill when it comes to the sandbox multiplayer, because as buggy as it was at first, Grand Theft Auto 5 did it very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're finally adding the feature a lot of people have been waiting for, which we're going to cover in the news section. But I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I assume we've all been up to. I think we touched on everything. It is a big week this week, so let's hop right into news.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the lead because I know you're excited. Legend of Zelda Wii U. I've given a little bit of shit about it on Facebook.
It's okay.
John is fully aware of that. And he's probably gonna laugh at me in the chat room right now. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think? Are you excited? Are you disappointed?
I'm not disappointed. I'm a little hesitant on whether it's going to be a good choice or not. They're taking a really big gamble like they did with Wind Waker, like because everybody's been used to a certain style for so long, and now they're changing it completely and doing something completely different, because stepping away from such a linear path where you'd have to do this to get that, to get that, to get that. Now it's all open world, which is a huge change. So it could be great, where it's like Zelda with Skyrim, or it could just lose all of its feeling from Zelda and just
Be terrible.
be a crap game. Yeah, and I even said it.
There you go.
I even said it. He looks like a girl in the trailer. He straight up, when he jumps up and does the little bow thing. I mean, the bow and the arrow looks sweet. I don't know what the heck that is, but it's cool.
I did like how, like, whatever that was formed out of the arrow. That was pretty cool.
It's that bomb arrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But looked like a chick. I swear to God, there was, like, small C cup. It was hiding.
I saw an article post on IGN. I didn't read it, so I don't know what the basis of it was, but it said something about along the lines of, could that not have been Link in the Zelda trailer?
It could have and it couldn't have. I mean, there was no names were given, no nothing.
Blue. Link doesn't wear blue.
But it could have been the start of the game kind of thing.
The Zora tunic.
Yeah, the Zora tunic too, but that doesn't really look Zora tunic-ish.
No,
it could be.
I'm just talking words here.
Yeah. What else? I'm worried about how the open world's going to play into Zelda, because every Zelda game has always been in a linear kind of, you need to do this and everything, but now they're changing the whole layout, so it's just going to be a confusing mess until they decide to throw it in our face.
I think they should have stuck to action adventure. I don't know that open world will play out very well. Like, not any more open world than, like, Ocarina was.
Right.
That's
Ocarina was perfect.
I was going to say, we had a taste of that a little bit with Ocarina.
I think that's about as open as it should go.
But it was definitely more open-y. I mean, if you go back and look, like, even playing, like, Link Between Worlds, which I absolutely loved, I think we talked about that last week.
Yep.
Is it not just a top-down open-world game?
Not really. I mean, you have your whole map, and so you have your whole map in every other Zelda game. You know where everything is. It's just the way that he was projecting it was in an open-world environment where you can come at things at a lot of different angles. So in the old Zelda games, you would always have to be one thing to do one other thing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Kind of like, you approach a boss fight from this direction, with this type of encounter. You approach it from this direction, it could possibly be a different type of encounter.
Yeah, and then there could be ways where you could just miss the altercation and once, like, just go right by it. Like, who knows? Could be anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll have to see. I didn't do much look into the gameplay.
There's not any.
The graphics really threw me off.
The graphics are fine. With their artwork, it always makes it great. Even with Skyward.
when they did the teaser, what was it, last year? Or maybe like
for the Wii U, like where they're showing graphics on it.
Yeah, and they showed him walking, and it was like HD Ocarina of Time. It had the realistic texture tones. It didn't feel like a Saturday morning cartoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt gritty, and Zelda has always been very dark in its story.
In a lot of other ways, they like to differ off from it and being really bright kind of thing. But another thing that I'm going to throw at you, which is kind of weird and kind of coincidental, before they released Wind Waker, they did the same thing for the GameCube and brought in a teaser of a game that they might be making Zelda-ish, and it showed Link and Ganon in a realistic, super badass setting in a sword fight.
And they gave us Wind Waker.
And they gave us Wind Waker. It's exactly like that, where they had the little teaser, and now we have this.
They changed their mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see. It's going to be a new Zelda. I'm sure it'll be phenomenal. Whether it's phenomenal in relation to the other Zeldas or it's just phenomenal in its own way.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
sure it'll be a lot of fun. Very good. Brandon, you wanted to bring something up about Rainbow Six, right? You were talking to me about that earlier today, saying it might bring you back to first-person shooters.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll just go ahead and plug like Ubisoft over and over again because I like basically everything they showed. Yeah.
All right, let's talk. Let's just go there. Then. Let's talk about the Ubisoft press conference.
Sure, go.
Well, the first 5 minutes of Far Cry 4.
Oh,
Yes.
man, right?
I'm excited. I am super excited for the fact that Troy Baker is doing the voice of the villain. So fucking pumped.
Not familiar. What's he from? Troy Baker?
Now, the game was shitty, but the voice was phenomenal. He did the voice for the Joker in Dark Knight, in Arkham Origins.
Oh, okay.
Now we're just going to argue about how Origins was actually good.
No, we won't get into that. The game's like a year old. Let's leave that for a blog.
They're already making a new one. There's no point.
I know, and the new one is actually being done by Rocksteady, so it won't suck.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all good. You suck, but anyway.
All right, so back to Ubisoft. All right, Far Cry looks great. I agree.
Yeah. See, Far Cry, the Division, which I can't wait for either.
I haven't seen anything on Division. What is it? Go.
Yeah, let's.
So
Come on.
it's like
Give us a backdrop.
it's like this I don't think how to word it. This like open multiplayer world where you're in New York, like post-virus, like sort of apocalyptic-y, and so everyone is like formed these clans or gangs of like paramilitary guerrilla guys, and so you work online like as teams to take down each other. It looks really cool, like another tactical, almost MMO shooter type thing, which looks really, really cool. I'm pretty excited for the Division.
Nice.
Yeah.
Visually, how does it look, like, compared to Battlefield?
It's nothing like it. It's third person. It's more tactical. It's like an open world. It's not like a quick match.
Gotcha.
It's like an MMO sort of. Like, do you remember Hellgate London, the MMO?
Yeah, actually, I do.
It's kind of like that sort of idea, but third person and like Tom Clancy.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
So you're trying to talk this game up to us, then you compare it to Hellgate London?
Hellgate London wasn't bad. I liked it.
It wasn't bad. This is true.
I think it had server issues when it first launched, right?
Most
like lag issues and
most of them do, but I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
So there was that, and then Rainbow Six, which that like 5-minute gameplay video was awesome.
Rainbow Six what? Is there a name or is it just Rainbow Six?
It's Rainbow Six Siege. And so the gameplay video was like a 5-on-5 set in a house where five guys are terrorists with hostage. And at the beginning you start as you see the military team, like the Rainbow Six guys, and they've got a drone in there, and you see the 5 terrorists, and they're like using a drone to watch them, and so each of these guys is like barricading doors, putting up traps, all that, moving the hostage, and so then they find the drone, and so then the game starts where the five counter-terrorist guys are like, well, do we want to go into the garage, or do we want to break in the window, or go in through the roof? And so they decide to go in the roof. One of them is like, I'll get in my normal spot, like she was a sniper, and then so the 4 guys like breach the house. And then it's just this really, really intense sort of firefight where it's just like a rescue the hostage and get out there type of thing. But like the whole house was destructible, so they would like run and move the hostage and like set up a new base, like put up shields and barricade doors, and then they'd throw a grenade to like destroy a chunk of wall. And it was just like, it was really intense, and it's like the kind of tactical team-based shooter that I enjoy. I don't like Call of Duty. I don't like Battlefield. The only first-person shooter I even rarely play now is Counter-Strike Go. But like I loved SOCOM back in the day and the old Rainbow Sixes. So this is, and their goal was to mimic like the actual real-life scenario of counter-terrorists rescuing a hostage.
Nice.
And so you play like these quick matches where 5-on-5, you know, in a house, like the whole map is just this house. It's just like the garage and the first and second story, and you can like, and the end. So the last two terrorists get the hostage down to like a garage sort of area, and they got her. They barricade the door. So one of the guys sends a drone under the door, and he sees them, and then he's like, "Hold on, guys, I got this." And so he goes up the next floor above them and puts a breach charge on like the floor, and he's like, "All right, on 3," and so he counts down to 3. And blows up the charge, so the roof comes in on the terrorist, and at the same time, the other two guys go in the door, and they just like completely storm them and get the hostage. It looks so cool.
Sweet. No, that's awesome. I like that.
Now, the gameplay you're describing, is it player versus AI?
No, it's like 5v5. Like 5 humans is the counter terrorist, and 5 humans is the terrorists.
Okay, when you said 5v5, I thought that's what you meant, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because I do know that with the last couple of Rainbow Sixes, the issue that a lot of old school Rainbow Six fans had with them was that multiplayer sense, they played just like Call of Duty.
Well, that's the way.
That's with Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Vegas went. The ones before Vegas were all fine.
Oh, okay.
It was really just Vegas turned into that. Like the community kind of turned it into that. But before that, with like 3 on the Xbox, the original Xbox, It was much more tactical. And this looks like they're really going back to that.
Very good.
Awesome.
Is there a release date on that?
Like 2015. So
Okay.
not for a good. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Corey. Now there was one game that you had listed that I was curious about because I didn't see much on it.
What?
And that was Bloodborne.
Whoa.
I know.
Looks so sexy.
Now, we had to talk about Dark Souls 2 last week.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the Dark Souls 2 developers.
Yep.
And from what I've been hearing, people who don't like Dark Souls 2 even say this looks great.
Oh, it totally does.
Why don't you update myself and our listeners on what it is a little bit?
Okay, so Bloodborne. It's basically going to play kind of like Dark Souls in the gameplay-wise. It's going to have the same kind of control layout and scheme.
You didn't get the gameplay-wise?
Hey, man, I'm giving it because we got video, so what? I mean, so
Did you look this up on your computer?
Yes, I
While
did.
you were having a drink?
Uh-huh. Yes. Basically, it's in a weird Victorian, like Londonish area, and it looks like in the trailer they don't really give you much. They show you a glimpse of him, and he has a blade, and the first scene you see is just him cutting into some guy, and it looks like by the way he's doing it that he's doing it for a reason. Like he's not just mercilessly just doing it. He's getting the blood, it looks like, from the thing. So I think instead of souls, we're going to be using blood to level up your character, kind of like in Dark Souls. And yeah, and instead of having magic, we're going to have guns. Because he dual wields now. And he's a beast.
So it's like Devil May Cry meets Dark Souls?
But not with that hack and slash aspect where it's so super fast and you're doing the combos, that kind of thing. No, it's stealthy, not stealthy. It's just more, you got to think about how you're going to come at something. You're not just going to be like, I'm just going to...
It's stealthy. No, wait, it's not stealthy.
I had to rephrase it, okay?
It's slower paced.
It's actually a movie.
Yes,
no, wait,
paced.
hold on. It's not a movie.
It's an audiobook. No, it's not
an audiobook.
It's more like
a poem.
It's more like a theatrical experience.
Mm-hmm. But it looks amazing.
So
and
are we expecting the same level of difficulty from Bloodborne that we do from Dark Souls?
I actually think more difficulty is what people have been saying, but who knows?
Okay, cool. And 2015 for this title as well?
Yes, indeed.
Very cool. Well, we will, and I assume 4, 1, and PC?
Yep, I would assume too. They haven't really given anything.
Right.
It's E3.
Right.
Trailer.
Yeah, basically. Teaser, trailer. I know, man. I mean, I'm like fucking Uncharted 4. We get, what, like a video that tells nothing? Aside from the fact that it might be the last one.
A Thief's End.
Yeah.
I don't know. The subtitles fairly indicative.
2, I'm so excited.
It's not called Tomb Raider 2.
I know.
It's the Rise of the Tomb Raider.
It's like Lara Croft something.
No, it's the Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I know, kind of a weird and lame name.
I nix all the other games prior to the new Tomb Raider because I didn't care for any of them until this one.
Fanboyism gone.
But I loved this new one, and I'm really excited for the next one. Again, Uncharted, we just got that little bit of video.
I actually didn't play the last one.
3?
The last Tomb Raider.
Oh, last Tomb Raider. It was a blast, dude.
Yeah,
pick it up on a Steam
really
sale.
good.
Just make sure you're playing it with a controller. It sucks with keyboard and mouse.
While you say Steam sale, the Steam Summer Sale starts in a little less than a week. It starts on the 19th, so prepare your wallet, etc.
I'm not ready for it. It needs to be the end of the month. But
on the same note, the GOG.com Steam sale, which is all like DRM free, is started. So they got so they have tons of DRM free stuff on GOG for sale. Lots of hourly things.
Now, really quick, I don't want to go off too far. Wait, hold on. What did we touch? John said PS4 exclusive. What's a PS4 exclusive?
I think Bloodborne maybe.
Oh, that's going to suck for Xbox One and PC.
Yeah,
well, it'll eventually go to PC.
Yeah, right. And from studios.
Thanks for that, John. As soon as you're talking about, I'll confirm once you. I know that it's a little lag behind. I'll confirm what you tell me in the chat. But I assume that's what you were talking about. Back to GOG really quick. I actually have an account with them.
I do too.
What is it?
It's something gamers.
I forget.
Yeah,
but what is it?
It's essentially Steam, but it has a much older titles. A lot of the older ones are fairly cheap. But what I was bringing up, Bloodborne. Okay. Oh, Sony is funding it. Yeah, so Bloodborne is a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Nice. I like that.
And I assume a sequel will be multi-platform because Demon's Souls was a PS3 exclusive, and then Dark Souls went. So they'll sign that contract, get the money from Sony, build the pilot game, and then when they're ready to build the sequel, they'll make it multi-platform.
It'll be like Blood Reborn.
Yes.
Right. Basically.
Or I don't know. Anyway.
Blood Unborn.
Darkborn. They'll just put Dark in front of all the fucking multi-platform titles.
There you
go. Back to GOG. They have a client now, don't they? Or they're coming out with one soon?
I think so. I've only purchased from them maybe one time. So I tend to forget. I just know their biggest thing is that everything's DRM free.
Right.
So you don't get any, you don't get Steam codes or Uplay codes. You just get the install for the game.
Wow. You can get. Wow, they've got a lot of good. Yeah. So Corey, to give you an idea, right now, and it's a lot of older titles with new titles, but you can get the entire Roller Coaster Tycoon series for $9. They have, what do they have on here? The original Far Cry is $3. Yeah, so I mean, Far Cry 2 is $3. But yeah, so I mean, they have the indie titles. They've got Octodad on here.
Nice.
And what else is on here that I recognize? Inquisitor is on here. And everything right now is $1.50, between $5 and $1.50. But they also have Witcher 3. They've got that for pre-order. I mean, they basically came from the bottom and they're trying to become a Steam competitor. And they have a lot of fans. Just like Brandon said, they are DRM free, so people like them for that reason.
That is cool. I like that a lot.
So, but anyway, yeah. So no, again, Uncharted, Tomb Raider. I think, and it's funny because I gave Microsoft so much shit because Microsoft's biggest reveal was a game that's 10 years old. I mean, the Halo, I won't talk about it much because none of us have an Xbox One. I don't know how many of us care. But the Master Chief Collection looks really cool. I do know that with having the original Halo 1 multiplayer, but having it actually be online multiplayer, and it's going to be true to how it was on the original Xbox, a lot of people are excited about that.
Yes.
But we're
Especially for
getting,
nostalgia.
we're getting Halo 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4, 1080p. And then 2
Dedicated
is actually...
servers, I think, too.
What's that?
Dedicated servers from launch day, I think,
Yeah,
too.
the dedicated servers. Halo 2 is getting the full Anniversary Edition revamp. So it all looks good. I've never been a big fan of Halo. I don't really care much for a sci-fi story. And when it comes to the multiplayer, personally, I know I get a lot of flack for this, but I prefer COD over Halo. I prefer military. It's just I prefer Battlefield over Halo 2. I just prefer military over sci-fi.
Give your heart a chance, man.
That's simply what it is, man. It's simply it's an environment thing. I don't like the jumping 50 feet in the air. I don't like the rocket launcher spamming. I just prefer military over sci-fi. It's the preference thing. The same way I would take fantasy over all of it.
But you don't like sci-fi, but you like fantasy. That makes no sense to me.
Fantasy,
You're the weirdest.
Fantasy is dungeons, dragons, spells, mages, wizards.
But you
Sci-fi
can't
is-
appreciate the other side? Like Star
Nope.
Trek. You hate Star Trek?
Probably.
I
He's
hate
a
Star-
non-believer.
I hate Star Trek. I love Star Wars.
And Star Wars.
No, I love
You said
Star
you
Wars.
love Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
And what is that?
Because Star Wars is very fantasy, sci-fi. They're battling
Oh.
with swords, and force powers are basically spells. It's very fantasy, sci-fi.
You're
But we're in
retarded.
space.
All while in space.
In spaceships.
Anyway,
In space cities.
so as cool as it does look, again, Microsoft's biggest thing was a 10-year-old video game.
Way to go,
Yeah,
Microsoft.
because I mean, Halo 5 is not coming out to next holiday season, so they'll already have another E3 to talk about.
Yep.
So we'll see what goes on with that.
Well, I'm not a
But
console
anyway,
anyway,
so I was
so.
giving them shit, but my most exciting moment was a game that's a year old. We are getting Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS4, on
Who
Xbox One,
cares? Who
and on
cares?
Hi.
PC.
Everybody cares? Are you kidding
Nobody
me?
cares, man. It's the best-selling game of all time.
It's GTA. You don't like GTA, Brandon? Why? No, tell me why. I'm curious why you don't like GTA. What's not fun just messing around?
I have never enjoyed them, ever.
Oh, the story in this one's actually freaking awesome. It's hilarious.
I've never liked GTA. I've never gotten enjoyment out of being like the criminal in that aspect. Free roam games are real hit or miss for me. Like I don't like GTA, but like I enjoy Prototype and I like Watch Dogs and Infamous, but I don't like Grand Theft Auto. I just don't do it.
Weird.
I loved 3. I loved Vice City. I hated San Andreas with a passion.
That one was just hilarious. Hot coffee, baby. Yeah.
I think the most entertaining thing about 4 was that Nico Bellic sounded like Ren from Ren and Stimpy. Or he sounded like Stimpy. He sounded like one of them. He sounded like the
Cuz-
Ren one.
Cousin Nico.
Yeah. And,
Let's go. Link.
But I'll probably end up getting 5 on PS4. We'll see how it is on PC. 4 had a lot of bugs on PC and didn't play all that well at first. It's very reliant.
But
It's very reliant on the mod community.
yes. And now it's freaking amazing with all the mods that it has. Have you ever done anything with GTA 4 on your computer?
I did dabble with it recently. Well, not recently, within the past couple of years. So recently and relative to when it came out. Yeah, I mean, they have some amazing mods. I mean, there are mods that make it look better than Grand Theft Auto 5 looked on 6.
Yeah.
They've got the realistic texture mods. Very similar to Skyrim. It has that very similar dedicated fan base.
Yep.
I mean, we'll see what they do with it.
Mhm.
I personally find the layout of like a West Coast city a little bit more enjoyable. So, maybe
Right.
going with 5 over 4, I'll enjoy it. I'll end up getting it on PS4 anyway.
Have to.
Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, I'll probably give it some time. I'll let them work the bugs out. I'll let the mod community do some stuff with it.
Cool.
And kind of go from there. But that was basically it for that. I mean, it was an exciting E3. There were a lot of letdowns. There was a lot of no shows that people really wanted to see.
Yeah, I was very sad to not see. What was it? I thought they were going to throw Red Dead Redemption 2 out.
Oh, that would have been sick.
Oh, I'm so sad that didn't happen.
Well, I was about to ask, what was your most disappointing no show of E3? So would that qualify as that?
That's mine, yeah.
That would be cool. I would enjoy that. Brandon, do you have a most disappointing no show?
There wasn't much I was looking forward to, so it was really nothing but like cool stuff for me, really. Like, and obviously for me, Ubisoft was probably my favorite. Just with everything they showed, I want.
Right. Now, I find it interesting. Now, maybe this is just because you changed it, but you brought up Ubisoft. You didn't say anything about the new Assassin's Creed, which I think everyone would arguably say is their biggest title.
I was actually thinking about that but a few minutes ago, and I think I lost train of them on back on 3. Like, I didn't finish 3, and then I didn't play Black Flag at all, and so I'm not as invested in it. I think it's because I was so into them on console, and now that I've since switched to PC Gaming Master Race, I don't want to go back and rebuy them. And so it didn't really, I don't know. I just don't care about it as much. Maybe if I can catch them on sale, get back into them. But like even Valiant Hearts that Ubisoft showed, the comic like second or 2-dimensional World War I thing where you play as these like 4 strangers that get intertwined, and you have the little dog that looks really cool. That comes out in 2 weeks, so yeah, I'll probably end up getting that for the $15 on Steam and have something about that 2 Fridays from now. But like it's like Castle Crashers-y. It's a 2-dimensional. They call it an animated comic book adventure in World War I.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Which being the history.
World War I.
Yeah, the history buff that I am, and they're supposed to reference like some of the larger battles, like the Battle of the Marne and the Somme and all that. So it looks really cool.
Right.
That's definitely something I'll have in the next couple weeks.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
That'll be my next kind of small town hit.
Right. Very good. Very good. I think my biggest disappointment, which was probably, I shouldn't have even read anything into it. There was this huge rumor going around about 3 or 4 days before E3 that the reason that Square wasn't showing off Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy 15 was because we were finally going to get our Final Fantasy 7 remake.
It's better.
I'm excited to see Type 0, just because it's a game we've never played. It was originally a Japan release only, I believe, a Vita title. And it's nice that it's going to get a full HD remake onto PS4 and not just like hey, we're porting it over to the USB. I would love to see 7. I really would love to see 7. I know we all would, or most of its fans would.
I don't. You just get the HD on Steam?
Because it's not HD. I don't want HD. I want Square and all of their glory. See
complete remastering?
Yeah, but you know what my worry is 7 was 7 or 8 the last title that was purely done by Square. I believe they were Square Enix at the time of 9, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, because and in my opinion, that's when they started going downhill.
I liked 9 as well. I liked
10, baby.
I'm actually playing through 10. I'm playing through it on my Vita. The HD remake is nice.
Yes.
Oh, I'm really enjoying
See more.
it, man. I'm about to do that first Blitzball game, so.
Dude, I freaking love Blitzball. If they could just have an online version of that and just make a port of that and just have it be by itself. Yes, I would play that so much.
That'd be cool. You know what I've noticed? I meant to bring this up last week, but we went a little over. If you play the HD remake of 10,
yeah,
the characters look great. The bosses look great. The environments look great. All like the little side characters, like all the little random people that you run into.
Yeah, they suck.
Like they came from PS2.
That's cool though.
Like their mouths just move in an open square. Like no at all. It's like a guy went back in time doing old world. It's pretty.
That's great.
But I'm enjoying it. I never played the extension, and I never played X2.
I liked 10-2.
Ugh.
10-2 was good.
Yeah, the combat in that was weird.
I don't know. I was very
they were
broy
actually,
when X2 came out, and I was like, oh, it's Charlie's Angels meets Final Fantasy. That looks retarded.
They were actually square up until 10.
They were square up
Oh.
until 10.
That's
And
right.
then-
That's why 10's the best.
And then Square Enix was 11.
And 10-2, yes.
And, 10 and 10 too. Okay.
I liked 10-2. But weird.
Well, very good. But yeah, that was my biggest letdown. Was that, and again, it was probably like I shouldn't have even thought about it, but no. But other little honorable mentions. I'm excited for Mortal Kombat 10. I think Mortal Kombat 10 looks great.
Yep.
On that same genre, there were a lot of people excited for Smash Brothers.
The block button is coming back in Mortal Kombat. This is bad.
What's that?
The block button is coming back.
Yeah.
That's
bad.
bad.
We'll see how it goes. It looks phenomenal. Smash Brothers, again, not my cup of tea, but I know it has a lot of fans. I'm sure it will be loved by quite a few people.
Yeah.
And I guess you can use your Mii in it, right? Your Mii can be one of the fighters, so that'll be
Yeah.
Cool. And the most exciting thing is I saw a picture where someone did the Mii's of all the King of the Hill characters, and it was like, this is the best part of the new Smash.
That's so great.
And
nice.
then,
Very good.
at least the last honorable mention for me is Star Fox, but we didn't see much about that. That was another one of those, hey, we'll just tell you it's coming, and that's all we'll let you know.
Well, they gave us like a 15-second thing where he was like trying to fly in the little thing. Did you see that clip?
I didn't watch the Nintendo conference. I just read the highlights.
Well, they had a little tiny gameplay thing where it was just in like, it looked bare minimum, but it was something.
Right. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Last little honorable mention for PS4 players. We're getting a Shadow of the Colossus transmog set, and we're getting a Last of Us adventure mode dungeon for the PS4 version of Diablo 3. That'll be pretty
cool. Yeah.
What are they called?
Oh, I saw there. I saw it's actually
called.
going to be 1080p on the PS4 and 900 on the Xbox.
Of course.
Yep. I just saw that too.
Like every other game.
It's awesome.
Which I don't care about, but it's interesting that they're kind of pulling ahead.
Yeah,
They've been doing that with everything.
They've been pulling. Yeah, COD Ghost was 1080p on PS4 and 700 or 800 on one.
I think it was 720.
Yeah, Titanfall only ran at 700p on Xbox One and 1080p. Actually, they've patched it. You can do 4K resolution if you've got the graphics card on the computer.
I knew that.
Cool.
I saw it.
But yeah, Corey, any other honorable mentions for you? Anything about E3 this week that got you excited?
Oh yeah, Battlefront, baby. I love Battlefront. Gotta love Battlefront. And it's being done by DICE. Battlefield, Battlefront, makes sense. Star Wars, they love Star Wars. They went their own, like they went to the filming grounds of the original movies. They went to the warehouse where all the models were being held, taking pictures, getting in there. They are making this the best Star Wars game ever. And if it's not, I'm going to just say I'm no longer a Star Wars fan.
Well, you can't do that.
Well,
I can.
Disney already bought the movie, so.
Now, is this like a direct sequel to Battlefront 3? Like, if someone's never played 1 and 2?
It's not going to matter. What Battlefront is just they set you up with random battles from the movies. And
Yeah, there's not really a story to it.
Oh, okay.
No, you just play the movies basically through the big battles that they have. And then they just set up random ones. You'll be like on Tatooine fighting random shit. Doesn't matter.
It's kind of like Counter-Strike skirmishy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that could be interesting. I mean, and you have to have faith in DICE. As long
I have
as
a lot.
somebody else is doing the servers.
Yes.
That's
Well, besides that, the only other honorable mention on my part is Alien Isolation, and that looks pretty freaking good.
The last
For an
one that
Alien
came
game.
out looked really good, too.
No, it
And
didn't.
then
No,
it
it didn't.
bombed.
They changed it. It like the first video they showed for that Alien game looked great, and then the next one, like the resolution dropped or something. They just stopped carrying it. No, too much texture,
Yeah.
less work.
So this one looks good.
This one looks great. It's a horror game.
First
It's
person
not
shooter,
a
I
shoot.
assume?
No, you're not
No.
shooting shit.
You're not.
No, you don't get
You were
guns.
just about to say that when I cut you off, weren't you? You're not.
Yeah,
shooting
no.
anything. Continue.
No, not shooting anything. You're on your own. You're hiding. You're trying to figure out what's going on. I think it's like a prequel before the actual Alien movie. I think
Okay.
it's what happens on that base. And they give you a little scanner and you just hold it up and you see a blank little night vision view of like the room, and like you can see blurs of objects, and if you like you hear a little beep, and that's the alien queen. She's just around hovering, going around doing her shit. The little scanner, if you find her, like highlights her and she sees it and hears it, and you have to run. It's awesome.
Sounds.
Oh yeah,
Do
I'm gonna like it a lot.
Well, that'll be cool. Brandon, what about you? Was there? Well, you said obviously there's nothing that you were looking forward to. So anything that you saw though that you haven't talked about yet, that kind of an honorable mention there for you? Something that piqued your interest that you weren't expecting?
Aside from the small thing from Ubi of Valiant Hearts, Josh, one of my friends of mine who's in the Twitch chat, Foot Fingers, asked me to take a look at an indie game called Cuphead. And so I did while we've been talking, and it was at the Indie Game Festival, and apparently they presented an E3 trailer, and it's like a side-scroll shooter set in like a level design of a one-on-one fighting game, but it's done in the style of like 30s cartoons with like jazz music and all that, and so the main character basically looks like the original Mickey Mouse, but with a cup for a head, and
That's cool.
and apparently you can do single-player or co-op, and it's like a side-scroll kind of like Contra set in 1930s
Sweet.
Cartoons. So that
Very
actually
nice. Is this a PC title?
Yeah, Steam and Xbox One. I guess it's an Xbox arcade title,
Okay.
Wow.
but it he wanted me to mention it and talk about it, and so I think it looks pretty cool, and I think
Sounds great.
Looking at it,
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I'll make sure I include a link to it in our show notes.
I'll get it for you.
Thanks for bringing that up. His name is Bright Green. Was it Foot Fingers? Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah, well, I think that about does it.
Oh, well, we have a few other things, I think.
I was gonna say that about does it for video games.
Oh, I'm
Calm down.
sorry. I thought we were done. I was like, wow, that's
Hashtag
quick.
episode 2, first world problems. Corey doesn't know his fucking cue.
I saw
Yeah,
That wasn't-
so there
that
really
wasn't in
isn't
the
much
script?
other news, because it was a big E3 this week, or an E3 week, I should say. E3 wasn't that big. There have been better ones. But as you guys know, I talked to you about it. I did pick up a new album this week. The new Hell Yeah, Blood for Blood. It's a lot of fun. Front to back, it gave me a great listen. I've always been a fan of Mudvayne. I've always been a fan of Pantera's music. And for people that don't know Hell Yeah, it's the lead singer of Mudvayne with Vinnie Paul from Pantera. And I don't care if you love or hate Pantera, Vinnie Paul is phenomenal. I actually just saw them live last month. They put on a great show. They played a couple songs from this album, but front to back, it's really enjoyable. It's really heavy. It's really well recorded, really clean. Chad's vocals are spot on, as they always are. So I really enjoyed it. Brandon, I mentioned it to you. Did you get a chance to listen to that single?
I have not.
You have not.
I have not. Typically, when you recommend music, I don't put it very high on the list.
Yeah, I know. That's okay, asshole. And Corey, you actually brought a tour to my attention. I brought
Yes.
this up to you.
Ooh. The Aftershock Tour. It's a 2-day festival. And the headliners in it are going to be pretty awesome.
Hold on. So this isn't a tour. This is a one-time event.
Yeah, it's a festival.
Okay. All right.
Festival. Yes, it's going to be insane. The headliners in it. There's 2 days. The first day is not going to be that great, but it does have Hell Yeah in it. And there's Weezer, Offspring, Limp Bizkit, AWOL Nation, Chevelle. That's the headliners on Saturday. And Sunday we got Rob Zombie, Godsmack, Five Finger Death Punch, Rise Against, and Pennywise. So there's 2 great days.
So that first day you mentioned is like a list of bands that were great 15 years ago.
They have their chance. They still have their singles, so they'll play those.
They do. And Limp Bizkit got West back, so that could
That'll help them.
Well, the Limp Bizkit can actually be used on a scale of badness. The scale of badness is from 1 to Limp Bizkit.
1 to Limp Bizkit.
Like,
That's fair. No, that's fine. I'm not there for him. He just happens to be there at the time.
Sure.
I read an article when they released. They had a new album coming out this year, and I don't remember I don't know if it's come out yet or if it was coming out soon, but I read an article about it. And the person said that they need to change their name from Limp Bizkit to something worse because they would actually have they would rather have erectile dysfunction than listen to the new album. So, yeah.
Fair assessment.
They were enjoyable. They were never overly talented. Fred Durst is just fucking annoying. Their guitar player was great, Wes. But I mean, they were... I don't know. I would rather my kid listen to Limp Bizkit than rap, so... I guess that's a poor excuse for rap, but at least there's electric guitar in there somewhere.
There's a lot of good rap. Just gotta find it.
Yeah. There's a couple local artists that aren't that bad. I give rap a lot of shit, but there's some stuff, the radio shit's annoying, but the stuff that branches away from that bros and hoes and drugs and alcohol shit, like...
You also listen to country.
What's wrong with that?
Everything.
Oh, you fuckers. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
I'm a big Brantley.
My dog died.
So
I don't listen to the hickey country. All right.
You might find it at my work like 2 weeks ago. I wasn't there for it. Yeah, I wasn't there. Thank my manager for not scheduling me, but yeah, he came to the store and like signed a bunch of albums.
Check out your guys' homework for the night. Check out one song. Check out "Kick It in the Sticks" by Brantley Gilbert. It is the least country song the least country song you'll ever hear.
I could tell you I'd be lying to you.
See, why would I want that if I don't like country, but I just want a little bit? No, I just don't like country, period.
All right, fair enough. All right. Well, we are approaching... we're over our 1 hour mark. Fuck, we did it again. We gotta get better at this shit.
No, you're not.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway.
We're not what?
Anyway.
Where are we? Oh, we're getting there, whatever. So it was a good show. We knew it was going to be mostly about video games because of E3. I wanted to get the little music plug in there. Anything else to talk about? Video games? Did you see any movies this week you liked? I don't care which one of you goes first.
No movies.
Nothing, man. I really wanted to finish Lifeless Planet, and then I was catching up on E3 stuff, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, I think we all had a pretty busy week.
Mm-hmm.
Really, for me, other than what I've mentioned, I started watching Hannibal, which I'm really enjoying so far. I'm like 4 episodes in.
That's a TV show now.
Yeah, and I didn't have high hopes for it because it was on basic cable.
I've heard it's really good and fairly graphic.
It is very graphic. It is more than I would imagine. Like, I started watching it in the living room with my daughter out there with me, thinking, it's on basic cable, how bad can it be? And, like, within the second or third episode, there's, like, a naked girl impaled on deer antlers. And the only reason you don't see her breasts is because they're covered by an antler.
That's great.
It's really cool. Mads Mikkelsen does a great Hannibal Lecter. I forget the actor who plays Will Graham, but he plays him really well. You could never go wrong with Lawrence Fishburne. So,
that's right.
It's quite enjoyable, and I think it's going to hold me up. Between that and I'm going to be watching through all of 24 again, because me and the wife are going to watch that from the start. Fucking love that show, man. Jack Bauer is my hero. Not a fan?
Keither, what is his name now?
Yeah, you don't like Sutherland, that's right.
I forgot. Keither Sutherland, that's what it was. All right. Keither?
Whose father is also one of the greatest actors ever. But yeah, so that's about it. I think that's going to do it for episode 2. Let's see here. What do we got? Look, they stuck around. Foot fingers or cyanide. Would either of you or both of you be interested in a 7-day guest access key for WildStar? It's not much, but it lets you give it a shot if you're interested in trying it. I have one to give away. You're the only 2 here. Would you both be interested in one? Well, I only have one, but if you're both interested, we'll play a little game. If only one of you is interested, then you can have it. And I'll wait for the delay for you guys to answer. What I want to say for the people who listen to the audio, make sure you like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/InkedGeekStudios. I'm going to be doing a contest. I am going to start that contest tomorrow, the 14th, and I'm going to run it. Let's see, what 4 weeks? 1, 2, 3. We're going to run that to July 11th. On July 11th episode, I will give away a $20 Blizzard gift card. I will put details of the contest on the Facebook page. You must be a fan of the Facebook page. You must have us click like, and I'll put contest details on there. So if you're interested in a Blizzard gift card, you can use it to pay for WoW time. You can use it to buy Hearthstone cards. You can use it to buy Heroes of the Storm heroes. It's useless in Diablo now because the auction house is gone. But if you're interested in that, make sure you follow us there. Well, as every week, we would like to thank you guys for listening to the show. Corey can be found on Twitter at IG_AudioKing, and you can watch his live streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/AudioKing. Brandon can also be found on Twitter at John1Renicus, which is JON, the number 1, RENICUS. And on Twitch TV, you can watch his live streams as well, twitch.tv/John1Renicus. Same spelling.
I'll also try to put up the recorded broadcast of Lifeless Planet so you can view the gameplay.
Very cool.
Yeah, do that. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I'm interested in seeing that too. Before we go, I do want to apologize. I forgot last week, so I want to make sure I do a mention. We really want to thank Jamie, otherwise known as JC Monkey, for doing our artwork. He gave us a pretty badass looking logo. Our t-shirts look great. So thank you very much for that. You can find his comic strip at jcmcomics.com. And you can also follow him on Twitter at jcmonkeyD3. So give him a follow, give his page a hit, check out his work. He's a very talented artist. He's also a fairly skilled video gamer. I say fairly skilled. He dies a lot. Beyond that, I want to thank my old friend Dustin Bayette for doing our audio. We're still working with it, but he basically gave me open access to any of his music to cut, paste, and use it as I want for my audio tracks for the show. So we want to give him a big thanks. He's still in the process. Very much so. I suppose you're always in the process. He's got a few albums out right now. He's a fairly popular recording artist. And mostly musician. I shouldn't say recording artist. That makes it sound like he lip syncs. Very talented musician. You can check him out at Bayette Music on Twitter. It's BEYETTE Music. Check him out. Give his music a listen. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you like any style of electronic music. Very big, very largely influenced by 9 Inch Nails. A lot of Tool like there as well, and a lot of other stuff as well. So anyway, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow our show on Twitter at IG_GeekAccess. Check out our website at inkedgeekstudios.com. Facebook again, facebook.com/inkedgeekstudios. Make sure you go like the Facebook page if you want a chance to win that Blizzard gift card. Follow us basically in all those places. There's always going to be news. There's always going to be updates. If you are listening to us on iTunes, please give us a review and click that rating. It helps us get further up there on the list. I think
And the subreddit. There's a subreddit up
thank
for
you. Yeah, go ahead. I totally forgot about that.
r/Geek Studios. Still pretty under construction, but it is there, and I think I'm the only one of us that does much redditing, but it is there.
Yes, definitely. All right, and yeah,
I've never tried.
Yeah, I've never been a Reddit guy. I mean, I suppose it's just the next evolution of Facebook. But
You should step into the light, but anyway.
I'll give it a shot.
by stepping out of the light and losing myself in Reddit for a whole day.
That's right.
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
It basically always occupies my second monitor, but
Right. So that's about it. As always, tweet us. We will start once we get some people talking to us. I know we're still a new show, but tweet us. I gave you my Twitter. It's at IG_GeekAccess. Send us an email at ig.geekaccess.com, or you can call the show, leave us a voicemail. If you want to leave a voicemail just for something for us to talk about, that's fine. I will not play the voicemail on the show live unless I have your permission. The number for the show is area code 207-200-5590. But that's going to do it. So we will see you next Friday, which is the 20th. We'll have some more to talk about. We'll try and branch it away from video games a little bit. It was a little difficult this week because of E3, but again, if you have other stuff for us to talk about, always email us, always tweet us. We look forward to hearing from you guys. That's going to do it for us.
All right. Bye-bye.